When I begin to canvas, I never quite know what I'm going to do. I always work within an idea where I want to go to, but I really don't know consciously all the time what I'm going to do. But the first brush stroke kind of makes you do the other one. Because if I pick up red, then next you want to make out of the red a certain shape. And then next to it you want to make another shape and another color. Then you look at the space. Space is essential. Or perhaps you want to have a pause between these two, like pause in music. There's white space between. Pause is very important in music. So it is important in painting. Love space. I love space. I have this fantasy that one day before I die, before I'm very old and die, I'm going to paint the biggest painting, just go on and go on and go on, have like a huge, giant, I have dreams like this, room, and have just plain canvas, like miles and miles long, and keep on painting and painting and painting. I first began painting, I always dealt with like forms that one finds in nature. And I'm really basically a European painter, not an American painter. And I believe all artists go back to their roots. It goes back to playing in the sand and making castles in Holland, border of Germany. I would spend days and days and days and days playing with building like sculpture out of mud, out of sand, and picking wild flowers by the million. And all those colors are in my painting. I remember those flowers vividly. And it has to do a lot with folk art that I was exposed to. I love folk art. I believe most of contemporary painting has a tremendous linkage to folk art. Sure, you can find it, shapes and colors and what have you. So when I began painting, I dealt with forms that one finds in nature, like in the sky, clouds, and water, and mountains, and leaves and flowers, biomorphic forms. They are nature-like, you see? I would never think of bringing a geometric form, which American contemporary paintings are known for now. Well, they go back to Mondrian. He produced hard edge paintings, straight lines done with tape, or conceptual art where you write about and you make people understand. I don't want people to read about what I'm painting. I want them to look and respond. I want my paintings to talk to people. And hopefully they do. Now, there's a danger because most people like easy paintings, something they are familiar with. And I want to be a strong painter, gutsy painter. I want them to be beautiful, but I want them to be strong. I want to say something no one ever said before, my way. But if you would take half a shape and a quarter of a shape, you can put together many, many things that you're very familiar with. They're like cut apart. They are kind of fragmented sometimes in my paintings. I think if one would think why, it's obvious. It's just that's what happened to those memories. I did some paintings that I titled after songs my mother used to sing. I was very attached to my parents. And I suppose the little girl's kind of pain for her losing them at a certain time has never left me. And I'm sure that my need to paint as I do has a lot to do with this loss. Too painful to recognize to think about one's tragedies. And I had plenty. It's a crazy world. During the war, I was in camps. After the war, where I was in Germany, the world was just falling apart. Hitler was not this sympathetic to Jewish children. He did not give them brushes into their hand and said, go on, paint. When I started painting, I painted children and trains and camps and kind of got it out of my system, I think. I wash my brushes every day because I kind of like them clean and I like to preserve. I like them to live long. I guess I like everything to live long. And it's almost like a child. You feel brushes are alive as well as paint. It's I think the act of creating is a tremendously life-reinforcing kind of feeling. Look, it's miraculous. All of a sudden there's a life to something. There was nothing, there was a blank canvas. And then things happen like magic. Fantastic, it really is fantastic. Then on my feet for 10, 12, 14, 16 hours. I don't know where I get the energy. But you see, one doesn't realize where the time goes. It's almost like someone else pushes you. It's like a certain kind, I don't know what time it is, and before I know it's nighttime or daytime. But I don't deal with time clock. I never wore watches. I never look at clocks. I seldom read newspapers. I don't watch television. Sometimes I start a painting and leave it at a certain point, because I just don't know where to go with it. Most of the time I begin a painting and I keep on working until I feel it's finished. Sometimes I just leave it and go away and pick it up again. If I were to define the essence of going on as flexibility, to be flexible and not to be rigid about your own work and about other people's work, to respect it for what it is at the stage it is, and to understand where it's going. The other is the believing. Finally, you have to believe in your own work. One makes 100 decisions an hour if you paint a lot. Every moment is a decision-making moment. But most of the time, you let your subconscious kind of a flow come in, and you don't have to check yourself. I think that's the difference between good painters and not very good painters. I want one day for people to look at my paintings and smile or feel good about it, or say, hey, that someone meant something when they did it, and I relate to it. I don't believe that people are born with understanding of abstract paintings. No way, no one. It's a learned thing. I want them to say in a unique way, kind of send good vibrations towards people. And they don't have to please everybody. People don't have to say they're beautiful. They can say, look, it's like different from what I have seen up to now. And I can kind of relate to it. I believe that the tragedies that happened for a reason I just don't know why. And what I remember from my childhood before the tragedy are fantastically loving, good, healthy memories. And in a kind of way, with all the 6 million that were killed, if I can bring to life the things that made them happy, to show it in color or in form, or strong, good, life-reinforcing memory. In a kind of way, I give them some life. And that's one of my reasons why I'm painting.